purchases that are not, let me say, kosher. Let me put it like that. That's one. That's the bad thing. So how do you recommend you? I don't really recommend to the extent that it can be, or to the age that I do think it's a lot. And I guess with the basics that we all know, emergency plans, economic planning, that goes beyond that. So I would kind of think that financial literacy is something that you have to do for the rest of your life. Because even as you move from category to category, not just the last category, but practically, you take it as hobbies. I'll give an example of I see like people who are in the current generation, they purchase a house and use cards, they take their children to a school. And it comes with other things. It's not just the amount of things for it. You pay for the Range Rover, for example, but it also means that every time you're parking somewhere, you're taking the watchman's fee more. It means if you have other things, it means having for maintenance. It means you don't need to understand to do how to play steps from the side. That's financial literacy. Actually, it is financial literacy. So I don't know if it's ever. And I don't know if it's like a scale of graduation. I don't know if it's like you level up as your money and as your goals and as you get closer to like your aspirational financial life, you level up. Then what you have is financial independence and also hi. Farm life, Murugi na kucheck. Farm life ni nani? Hizi ninakaa familia. Ama nisaima ajita farm life. Than what you had in other classes. So now, because of my community, we're not sophisticated. So what I've done is we have reduced all these values to individual values. So after having the $1,000 income, the 100 values, no problem. Chaka tu. Nitakujua tu. Nitajua tu nani mwenye anachezea. Hata nipite hapo, ukipita utaniangusha. Family. Nani shasikia kijita hiyo jina? Kanako kanazima saa ngapi na? From that day, anyone that you touch must either just like it is not. Ebu ni adjust hapa hivi Beri. Ebu kwanza ni mute. That day you said, I now want to make 100. That's the day you kama hiyo kama mtatana ile mimi nimechoka. Hiyo kama ndo ile. Sio click niende pale niambie. Kama nimemiss chako. Ndio kwa hiyo nataka kuja kuangalia. Na hiyo tu ni bright. Kuna kila kitu kinanisumbua.
nakwambianga ukitoka kwa hiyo vitu vilizima tu hivi nyumba imekuwa sawa. Family tena kumsorora hadi kubwa hata kama wewe kuna watu wengi aje. So this message is held for the vlog one. Ni vlog ama nini? Ni macho ina. Oh, VGC. Hi. Master of the show. Nataka tupate salmonella. Tupate salmonella. Huwezi kula white meat kama haijaiva vizuri. Lakini red meat tunaweza. Imekuwa kubwa. Umetoka vizuri ni kubwa. Pamela, kwa kazi ama uko wapi leo? Tunishajua ni nani. Kwanza nionje. Sasa nikianza kuonja saa hizi itafika kwa moto hivi itafika kwa hivi.
Take me through your thoughts on the expensive, the dating is the expensive trap for low income earners.
You know, I was talking to a guy friend of mine the other day, and he was like, dating girls like you, which I guess means girls who like soft players. He said you need to have 100K in your pocket for the girl every month. 100K Kenya shillings. Wow. Kenya shillings. I was so flabbergasted. I was like, what are you spending 100K on? But he was like, every dinner, 20 G's. Diani actually is probably 100K. Once you go to Cape Town, blah, blah, blah. The cost of a year of dating somebody, you're spending more than 2 million. Then she wants a ring that's, 500, it's usually what, $5,000 for 1 month of your paycheck or something like this, some sort of rule that you must follow. And to your point, the weddings as well, it's insane, it's insane. And I really think men are really going to do it when it comes to finding a wife, keeping the attention of a woman who they consider, I guess, high class or, I think, middle class, I don't know, that's really feel for you guys for learning.
Niache kusema unatafuta offer. Niache kusema unatafuta na offer.
But it's not open to dating, by the way. If you can get a person like Val for 100 without 100K
Ulipata offer?
a month, and also what after that, I want Stan to also comment because there's this thing men do.
Wewe unang'ana naye.
So is it just okay?
Kusema hutaki madhaifu.
So, you know, you like going out to eat, you're drinking prosecco / champagne, you travel,
Kwani
you
ilikuwa
that
mingi?
kind of thing.
And but you like these nice things, but you can afford them yourself. You're not a soft like
We hope so.
We hope so.
We hope so.
Okay.
At least the ones I surround myself with, we can pay for ourselves.
Okay. It seems practical, Stan, right? What do you think? Is it really a trap or it's aspiration?
It's not a trap. Because me, I spend
Kwani ilikuwa mingi?
I can't begin to tell you how I took a flight to go to Turkey to now buy my wife the 24-karat gold ring, and I had to buy her diamond ring as well for the engagement because the problem is I engaged her, and because I was completely aligned with her. I was like, for a lady like this who's the blessing of God in Nairobi, the only diamond, you only deserve diamonds, baby. So I engaged her and I didn't have the money to buy her. So I engaged her by saying, she said yes. Then now I have to now go and buy the ring. But I realized something. That I believe that is a very big dysfunction. Let me tell you, if you're not chasing something, you chase anything. That's what it is. Because you will now you will attack your satisfaction. Because there is a very big, remember again, finance is behavior first, not even capital. It's behavior first. So there is a lot of satisfaction that we get when we give black tax. There's a lot of satisfaction we get when you pay for the day we are trying to do to go to holiday. Let me tell you, there are good things. The issue is the timing and then the prioritization. Let me shock you. Do you know the day you discover you're in prison, back to the prison again?
Champe, haya.
You're in prison and you realize that I'm not coming out. You know what you're going to make it is comfort. Is how, fine, I'm in prison, but can I get a better bed? Can I get, can people bring me room back? And so on. So you get into this comfort season where you have accepted your prison, and then now all you're trying to do is now comfort. That is exactly what is happening to the African men. So for us in our community, 1 million nation, when we have that conversation around building your wealth, the first thing I have to do, I run an FAQ 54 money mindset psychology test, because I need to investigate your dysfunction so that your dysfunction becomes material to your wealth model. So both advantages and disadvantages, speaking to the model, you go there, we have certain interruptions, and I'm testing you, I want you to check so that if I can get you to see that your most important objective is a financial objective. These are the things they give there for them. I cannot begin to tell you the things questions that people find it pleasing the ladies. The others who find it in supporting the people parties. The others who find it in sponsoring the whole community. They can remember which for their family. I was one of them. You will do million help change that and accept every tool and him. This is what for you. I bet I'm more than you get up. But the objective, the person will either you remind that they see you on the way, and consequently they are allowing your lack of, let me say, financial romantic expression. So what I can do is we can go down, we can walk and all the flexibility.
Hata kuna watu hapa wameenda wote. Hapa kuna mtu. Naye aniambia ati siwezi jua. Simon nishajua ni wewe. Zia.
Very much. Imagine if on our honeymoon night, we don't have a big and we have a house. No, we don't have to work. We can go for honeymoon. And think about it.
I like it, but is it realistic?
Yeah, because I also think that marriage and family is such a
No, go and check my YouTube model. I'll show you exactly how to do it.
I do think that when you manage money,
You go
much it's expensive. Because you got accountability, there's one, so then find your person. I don't think that makes sense.
And that is so.
Itabidi tu tumeweka tu hapa. Haiwezi kusaidia sana.
And then I'm thinking before you contact.
Inga kwa nini isitete? Kwa nini TMO?
Before you add on, so Vi, what is your thinking about
let's
dating
try
and
it.
also finding someone who's compatible enough with you financially to be exponential? Because at the end of the day, sometimes, particularly women, and particularly women who marry men, you can be on your way here, but then they claim, I don't have this other business review, this is TikTok, claiming that getting married to a man could be one of the most detrimental financial decisions, emotional decisions, social decisions that you can make. So how do you do it?
I think that you're right, to some extent. Marriage is better for men and for women, and I'll stand to that.
Financially.
A man
Hadi nioshe yako.
who is
Nimeiweka kwa maji.
and they have the same sort of-
Tumeenda tu sahi.
The married man is covered almost all of the time. I don't know what the percentage is, I don't have a study.
Yeah.
But from observing the men around me, a wife changes your finances. I think it's really the responsibility and something happens. There's a mindset and something that happens to men in that dynamic. Now, women don't always have the same benefit. Not to say that everyone who marries a man ends up worse, but not to the same extent. And I can stand on that. Like, I've seen it from just looking and observing around me. A single woman is not worse off than a married woman. So how do we do it? I think values. It goes back to values.
Benefit ya marriage ni gani baby?
If there's a guy sitting somewhere thinking you have to have 100K in your pocket to date a person like this, if you have the 100K and you sense way to spend it.
Kwa nini basi unatafuta offer?
Mimi sionangi, mmoja sionangi jamii. Kwa hiyo wanaume wengi hawaprovide.
Unataka aprovide na hiyo masaa ndio hatuna.
Sasa hiyo masaa utaenda kuprovide. Kwani umekuwa mamake tena?
Mama yake ameingilia tu
Ah, kuprovide mtu na mtu ni mkubwa.
So the first is that there's incredible trust.
Sasa inafaa mnasaidiana.
Actually, I think that I remember that
kusaidiana tena.
Inafaa mnasaidiana kama pesa iko ama kama kuna kitu kwa advice ama chochote. Inafaa msaidiane.
Msaidiane. Kama ukute na pesa ya kulisha familia yako, count me out.
Unasema kujivalishange ujue unafanyanga
I think the second thing that works is that there is a shared, I don't think there needs to be a shared vision, but there needs to be a singular vision.
Nataka kutengeneza triangle,
So that you're not spending so
lakini hiyo
much
ndio
time
ambayo
focusing on the
haitakuwa
person,
tunataka.
that the thing you're doing is the correct thing, or the idea you have is the right way to go. You move in tandem, right?
And this vision could be in the next 20 years, we need to be exactly working. Our house is here.
Exactly.
Our house is from
Yeah. And I actually do not believe anymore that it needs to be a shared vision, but it is to be the same vision. And in most African households,
itakuwa kweli.
that's what it is.
Haina otherwise, sipe chance.
Don't mix your money. Okay. That's my 2 cents. Because I think those two things have to exist for marriage to be good for your finances. And when it exists, it's very powerful.
I even think like if you're a woman who cannot trust your partner with money like that, why are you getting married?
Yeah.
You date around, and so why is that the next step? But you're hiding because the time I was stories and these are not women who are in financially abusive relationships. Because that's something else entirely. Women are hiding that, and the one thing I was just like, so you have control or whatever, but your money, you have to say, like we are it's so crazy. Sharing and the weirdest stuff that you're thinking so wow, like millions, someone said the whole thing. Again, this one. You were saying something, so you were backing up or trying to a good marriage or a lifelong relationship with someone like Oprah is not married and she's putting in effort, you know?
I'm sure what the question is, so I completely agree with her. If we are financially alive, both of us, then that acceleration happens and data control. In fact, as a matter of fact, I do find data, I need to find the alternative so that you can find these people. that show three things. Number one, families that talk about money at least once a week perform those growth by 250% in network acceleration. So I talk about, we're talking about money in context of family. What's your income, what you do? Number two, do you know that families that talk about like partners or husband and wife who talk about money at least once a week have a higher likelihood, they say 80% of reaching the 10 level than those who don't. Here's the reason. They actually found that the reason why it happens is because when we talk about money, it's not the issue about talking about money and exposure, it's because of how our money functions. Our money now functions like a consolidated balance sheet. You see, consolidated balance sheet have high leverage. For instance, the corporate balance sheet is 95% leverage because it's consolidated, it's across all products. So they're able to get credit cheaper, more credit faster.
You're making a croissant, not a croissant. You're making a croissant.
Why? So for me now, right now, the companies I can show you, bring my phone, I can show you, I want to show you my accounting group. I get their own income, and that group now, because she's not, I don't know how much, the one who's doing it, these are the family business, you have invested in other direction, but I don't think this income comes to them. Because I think, you know, if we are married, I have to decide, am I married or am I not, but not both. So if I'm married, you need to know every money I am making, it is there, she has direct access to the accountant. For me, my wife right now does not need to ask me how much money we made today or we made last month. There's nothing to ask. The money we made, it is right there. It is right before I'm coming from my absolute love for her, which I have spent many times, but I'm also coming from statistics. Point of view that the stats show that actually making money makes sense. But the good is the thing. If I'm coming in and I am alive, and the reason why people must go for many days, I am not feeding the hungry. The reason why I'm watching to Kempinski is not because I have money that I use AI service. I'm collecting data. I'm trying to see, are we at least 50% aligned here? If I believe that I don't think we should buy a house before we have $500 million in portfolio, and I'm having this conversation with you, it could be you want to get married and enter your house. So that lack of agreement will put me on the back foot as far as my vision is concerned. So my point is, this is fantastic, and I fully subscribe to it. It's a position of thing. At what point can you do that? At what point do you
Help people who are more dating, so that they can also start having this conversation with potential partners or others, earlier, sooner rather than later. Because I wonder, is it I get married, say it's hard, then now let's go be with our money, you guys do it earlier because you asked certain key pertinent questions when you're dating. So if I'm having a money date with someone, if I want to understand this person's money philosophy, their values, their strategies, what kind of questions should I be asking at that?
Thank you so much. Can I say this one quickly? So, for the one to go first, and then go ahead. So, one day, my wife told me that if we dated longer, I would never marry you. You see that? So, you can get offended. Yeah, you're like, are you serious to say that? Yeah.
In the middle of a face,
Yeah, but you see, but yeah, with good reason. So, my immature self starts attacking me. Because now I think the only way to answer is, but after going through some counseling and mentorship and talking to older men, I realized that you should listen to what she's saying, not attack, because you are attacking, not solving the issue. You should listen to what she's saying. And what she was saying basically is we need to evaluate each other a bit longer, because the fashion I was serving her at that time is not a fashion she would accept to be with. You know what I'm talking about? So the evaluation has to be a bit thorough. We test for everything. People are getting married, you go and test for HIV, you test for hepatitis, you test for blood, test credit score. Go and check what's your credit score, what's your bank statement. Yeah.
What you're saying, we're having a class with my organization, the Women's Society, and then he said everywhere I have to check each other's credit scores. Because the thing with African households, particularly for men, and the performance must be to track, like we're talking about, is equal
To borrow.
secret debt, loans to sustain your lifestyle. So in marriages now, people every year they do an audit and calculate it. You see, I'm like there. I love that. Yeah.
I love it. So if we can test blood test, we should just finance it. So you have to first decide, do I want this marriage or not? then it is full of it. So I advocate for when when you come to 1 million nation and then we are doing for you financial fitness care, things like your health test are still valuable. When we are checking your fitness test, yeah, one of the things we saw is disclosure. Do you know disclosure has 0.07 impact in the network? I have the
Na
vision
tuende
for it.
kule.
Tengeneza hizo lines,
So
make
if
it
you
a promoter.
to disclose to your partner exactly what
Is it
you
you,
want
my dear?
financially,
Mm-mm.
the trust
See?
will build the partnership.
Usichonge na
Na
mtolee hiyo mbegu, azitubaki na hiyo nyama yake peke yake.
And sometimes the house is locked, it completely collapsed totally. So this disclosure is such a strong accelerator of network. So consequently,
I hope you didn't die. Oh boy, I'm sorry.
yeah, so consequently, I'm saying that you are going to disclose. My disclosure is where are your bank accounts? I just asked my wife, but like, she's the people we train. I'm like, fine. If you, again, for me, the estimation is important. So if you're not willing to negotiate that agreement, never ever ask me to help you break out of your water. Because if you want to do it, it's not like you want to don't want to do it. So print your bank statements, go and deliver them to your wife. Print your CRB report, go and deliver it to your wife. And the wife as well, print your bank statements, we believe in God. Everything else we measure. So when you bring your bank statement, it's up to me to say them in here, just I don't want to do, but provide them anyway. That keeps you honest. Now the other thing is, remember again that human beings, we do have a disposition of wickedness. Our natural state is to do funny things. Number two, we have friends who are speaking to us. We are doing different spaces. We have media. So sometimes I could be aligned on January and I'm not aligned on December. Case in point, I get into trouble. This is a very live case. I get into trouble. I can't even take the company. Me, financial coach. I get into trouble. Those guys do I go and mortgage our vehicle. Yeah, I go and mortgage our vehicle. I have personal debt. I take 1.1 million. I have to go and pay 2.5 million. So they're coming to the vehicle and even I'm asking my wife, you know, they grab the car. They ask her, my wife asks, where is the car? But the car is the garage, you know, so she's trusted. She doesn't even do it. Now I had to go and ultimately when I came out, and this is my less than 18 months experience. When I came out, what I'm saying, the finance teaching I'm doing is not that, oh, look at me, I'm doing well. No, I'm in the journey. I'm in the journey. These are my issues. This is what I'm finding out. And these are the adjustments we are making from the data we are seeing in Africa to try and guarantee as a community of people who are keen on breaking the curse of poverty, how then do we get destination possibility? So now I came and told this is it. So to move forward, because I don't know, this is what I'm saying. I'm a businessman. It will happen again. It will be that I'm in trouble. At that time, I was going to pay loans, to pay the rent, to pay some medical fees. It was good reason. But I think you see those dysfunction. Now think about it. If one day Sunday morning we're going to church and the car was not sold, which was supposed to be sold actually. How do you recover that marriage? So you have to decide, do I want to, am I married or not? So what I've done now, I told her now, since the car, these are cars before marriage, then my name, so you keep the loan. So for me, the only thing I can take this loan is if the two of us are aligned. I should be open enough to say anything. So, and this is people that I shall not see the income.
Yeah.
So she didn't even know we don't have cash.
You know how you're speaking from a marriage point of view. So what about before getting that? So before getting there.
Yes, so evaluation.
And so what is that? Let me now get about what are these questions that we ask for evaluation? I love what you said, in fact, about CRB and everything, and also about disclosure, because I believe that that's one of the questions someone should ask on a money date with someone. Some people even take these money questions on the first date. The women who right now we are dating to get married, you know, or even men.
Yeah.
So no, not how much money. Actually,
How much credit do you have?
hey, that's a good question. I also ask for money. Do you have money? You have saving. You have saving.
But you see, if you're not, if you're a seed, you beg your friend with that question.
Then I'd feel you know that you're uncomfortable discussing it, because also by the time I'm asking you, you're saying investment, I should have you say, yes, me I can come and ask you to do it, because come on. Tell me a question that you can ask on this particular list now.
I mean, I'm in a relationship, like
Money. Yeah. But you're married, you've been married for some time, so I can take what it is that you say with weight. Yeah. If you're dating for a year and you're broke, I
somebody who's dating, you're in marriage, and wanting a marriage where you have financial togetherness. I think early on, you really need to understand their upbringing, how their upbringing has influenced the way they think about money today. Because these things are so deep. It's like the idea of I need to have a sexy car, I need to buy a luxury brand, it comes from far. It comes from very far. So I don't know, like early on, I think the kind of questions I would ask are like, you know, how did you guys spend your Sundays? Like, how do you guys spend your free time and how does money play a role in that? Did you guys travel? What did that look like? How are bills paid in your house? Who pays for what? Stuff like that. I think it starts to reveal like someone's ideas around gender roles, around responsibility around money, around what's important and what money like signals to you. So those are the kinds of questions I ask early on because I'm not trying to I am not trying to be on a first date asking you, show me your paycheck, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a bit a lot. And if you're aggressive like that, good on you, but for me it's a lot.
Yeah.
Then maybe now before you're getting like now very together, so let's say before you start to do things like move
Hater.
together or get engaged, then you can
Nilisikia
get
ukiingilia hii ndio yangu kama ikatokea like zangu. Sasa yuko wapi? Yeah, I know, I know.
actual statements. I love what you said.
Ongea vibaya saa hii, tunasikia
Just
tunakusikiza.
I think a lot of people lie. So it's a good idea to just confirm and be confident that what the person is telling you is the truth. Because this person literally determines how your financial life is going to be. It's a good idea to check.
Like in general, they say it's your biggest
That's what it is, yeah. So in our community, there are 4 questions that we propose, eh? And this comes from the word habitat. Habitat, of course, we believe, but there are 4 questions, there are 4 primary questions that I really encourage my sisters to ask the men, because again, it is almost acceptable, based on what she said, that the men should be slightly ahead, even if it's not in money. That is in the mindset of something. You have to have some leadership, leadership possibilities. For instance, it's very difficult for you. I don't know if you date somebody who is better at 10% of the network. It can be a big strain. That story for another day, but here are the 4 questions. The first one is you have to find a way to score their financial intelligence. You have to find a way. So ask them financial intelligence questions. Yeah, what investments do you do? Do you understand what assets do you? So of course now you need to know this stuff, right? Are you doing this? What do you think about real estate? What do you think about the economy? What do you think about bank rates? What do you think is this a good banking environment? Should we borrow in cash? Should we borrow in dollars? Find out if they are not giving you straight answers, they do not have any right to be given the privilege to custody the precious commodity. You are the diamond, baby. So when you lose the diamond, you're now getting yourself in this, you're going to be the truth of this man, you're going to help you make more money, you might as well evaluate. So the first thing is check financial literacy. Second, check assets. What assets do you have? Because the assets they have will give you the pattern of the kind of thought. You now match their literacy with action. Because again, maybe especially if you are talking to people from Gola, we have many words, but okay, fine, they'll say all this fantastic, no problem. Sure, which others do you have?
I'm going to give you up when you are.
Sometimes I don't realize that. Yeah, that is because I have an urgent message. Poverty is very urgent. So assets, what assets do you have? If you're a young man, you're below 30, and the asset you have is a big TV and a beautiful and a big phone, and you have this car that has an asset, and it suits, and all these perception, primitive spending, those are your assets. You're not over there. So you're checking the financial literacy, you're checking their assets, and then you're checking the debt behavior. How much loan do you get? What's the last time you borrowed? Are you going to borrow anytime soon? How much debt do you have? How much of that is traditional? How much is that circle? How much is it trend? Do you borrow from your mom? Do you borrow from your mother? Did you borrow from your previous girlfriend? You want to know how do you behave with money, because sometimes, because of the trauma of iniquity, the trauma of poverty, many people borrow thinking you're solving an economic problem, but you're actually putting an analgesia to a dysfunction that you experienced during childhood. I found this study by Cambridge Social Family Sciences Journal, something 2017, where they actually found that African men who grew up in liquid environments are price sensitive to high interest personal debt. So many times you're constantly borrowing, you're not borrowing because you're doing anything practical. They find the day you fear notice, Sacco says you cannot access a million shillings unsecured. You borrow and then think what to do with it later. So ask those questions of borrowing so that you need to know their debt behavior. Do you know, as a matter of hard facts, the number 1 reason of divorce is finances? It's not even, I told you, infidelity. I thought it would be communication. I thought it would be something else. I thought it would be indoor. It is not. It is finances. So do your due diligence. And the last thing you said habit, yeah? The last thing is systems. So you're saying you have all these assets, you have all these different financial literacy and so on, these are how you behave. How have you systemized? Because remember again, we have to learn about systems. There's software. So have you systemized? How do you do these things? Like, do you have an amount of savings? Do you have an amount of investment? Do you have a certain percentage that you always do? How do you decide on buying or big spending? How do you decide on luxury products? Get that. The thing is that you based on your own objectives. So if money is important to you and it should, then you should analyze. And you call them and say, I need a portion, I say, I need to buy this 50%. This is not
Wewe unataka kuna vitu unaikania na
this is the diagnosis when I
Yaani, acha niangalie kama nimezifanya kwa mzee. Sinaona zinafaa kaa tatu. Hizi na hizi zingine. Sisi hivi kuna cheche. Regular. Ala, unaonekana.
Dating, one of the is if you're dating, this is always the one stands for the
Maybe I like it.
women are
Like
very
it's kind of all, yeah, when you sign up, then you don't even get on my voice.
you need to look at again. And everybody is throwing away. Just really, we are actually 100 materials. Be kind. I think there, 130 years. Anyway, let's come back. If your person, gentleman, is constantly telling you they problem, these are what they are doing. It never ends. That's the thing with women, they're not sharing each other. But you think this is a sexual, or this is problem. Just pay attention. If that is over out, which is okay. New day, new beginning, it's the new day.
Unaweza kutoa mbegu?
How are you, Mary?
A student who finished public studies in Kenya, and you know, of course, with the loan debt that you get to accumulate because of health, how is one able to maneuver and be able to actually working with women despite the challenge of having accumulated a lot of loans as a result of pursuing education, particularly in the traditional middle class milestone home.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Sarah, do you have airtime? Will you stay on the call? She's gone. Okay, she watched. Okay, so, well, let's start with you.
So for me, education is so personal, actually, and investing in education. I myself invested in my master's and I took debt for it. And I had to really be careful about how much debt I took and to make a plan to pay it off in a very short amount of time. Because if you take it willy-nilly, it's very possible for you to be trapped for a very long time. I think about debt as, a bucket with a hole in it. So it is essential that you seal it as quickly as possible, especially if the tap that's putting the money in is not getting faster, bigger, having more pressure and that kind of thing. So I'll give my own personal example. When I was taking the debt to do my master's, I took a portion of the tuition and I made a calculation about how much more income do I need to make because of this MBA to be able to pay off this loan in 3 years. And I had to make a conscious decision that it meant that for those 3 years I was not investing. So it is a very conscious, like, either or type of situation, and you really have to be aware that that's what you're doing. Because if you're not, it makes you resentful, and then you start, I deserve, I need a treat because I worked so hard, and you keep pushing this debt down the can because these guys, they're not going to force you to finish it quickly. it just keeps getting more expensive, right?
Another trap.
Another trap. So I made a choice, I made a plan and I made a choice. Then I had to execute against that plan. So it meant that my path out of my MBA was traditional. I couldn't just decide I'm going to take the first job that comes. I had a minimum number. And that meant that the way I recruited was different. So there was a plan behind the choice and the decisions that I had made. I think that when you take for education, especially, if that's the choice you have to make, then it has to be fairly calculated. It means you cannot just take the first job that comes. It means that for the last 2 or 3 years,
Hiyo nitaimaliza bana.
especially if it's high interest. I'm not sure
Sasa
what
kunipeleka kwa baba.
has taken, but we assume it's high interest. She borrowed that, higher
The
than
hell,
yeah. Okay, held is a bit more cheap, but if you assume that she's paying the interest at a higher rate than what you can earn from an investment, pay it, finish, and then actually it gives you discipline to know the amount of money you need to put away every month to then build your assets and not just reduce your liabilities.
That's pretty cool. The only thing there is, so it assumes that, because students looking at the thing with students is they're not making money, they don't have work.
But when you graduate, you get a job.
How do, okay. So it's saying as soon as you get that first job,
You start paying. And you should understand. I think they have a monetary, there's a period in which, there's a notice period, so you can afford to not pay for that period of time. But the key thing is that don't just take the first job you're given. You take a job that allows you to afford to pay that debt.
okay, so when you're negotiating your salary, remember that you have to pay and then after that time. Okay, good, that was fine.
Zinasumbua kukata? Zinasumbua?
Lakini zinatoa ni yenye tunatengeneza hii.
And now regressing, trying to find the
Hii zinatoa kazi sana.
and the network. And we started finding a lot of
Unabidi umekunywa na maji.
that there were other underlying variables that were throwing the investigation off because causation is causation. So indeed,
Unafaa kunywa asubuhi ya.
what we found, we actually found
Blokuke kila chochote sio.
students there had an investment delay of up to 10 years. So many of them will leave university at 24 and they begin investing at an average age of 36. That is rock hard data. 36. And that investment delay was minimized by their debt behavior of ignoring student loan. But the problem is, it becomes a catapult that goes into going on because right now, people like to check how well are you doing with your debt. But remember again, finance is behavior fast. For instance, Oxford University did a study where they were looking at intelligence of Indian rice farmers because Indian rice farmers are paying 1 for them. So they actually found that between November and February, their financial intelligence increased by 15% when they have money in their bank account. So on the other direction, anytime you have debt, you might not be knowing the actual amount, you might not be knowing the ratio, but the
Bless you.
fact that you have
Hii
debt
machungwa si nini kali yake.
Fungua mlango kidogo hadi nasikia joto.
And you know what you say? If this one is not enough to pay my debt, I might as well. If I might as well because I can't pay the debt with this money, and will shock from you. You'll be there at 36 now. Even at 36, my mentee is about to start cash flowing 140,000 shillings without giving a figure the rest of their life. Even is when now finally I see that I have to pay that. So I'm very proud of you, Sarah, what you need to do. Get a job that can pay your debt. But when you start getting money right now, you can all on that. You can do all the stuff, look at the, how much, the biggest income that people, biggest income for yourself. You can even get a product, you can get a product and get your family to pay for it. Buy a new vehicle, I know the laptop, buy a something that is new, right? Because it's not expiring. Sell it, you have to pay 3-4 months. You see that? So basically, I'm trying to say that tomorrow you should be free. But if you don't have the guy, they don't want to tell you, like just being in the game is better than not being in the game. Because the game they can it did not work. It was hard like this. But my first major contract as substance was for somebody who was going to. So that's the difference here. So I woke up in the morning, back in 10,000, 20,000, 10,000, that week I done something like 450,000 commission. But this guy, you know, all the relationship, because he said, I'm not trying to do you interested in knowing, and the something that I need, like you. But I thought that is obvious, because that's the training I was given. Because we gave our training. You see that?
So Sarah did a job or figure out how to increase your income.
Or find something.
Find something.
Find something to sell.
I think
Sell someone something.
to summarize all these things, I think Sarah needs to be shameless.
I love it, yeah.
Because if that's a priority, you cannot have shame in trying to think about that way. So figure out what you do, it is that you're saying. Thank you so much, Sarah, for that.
I want to double click on something around income. When I talk to clients, there's almost a surrender around income, where we think that income is the number that somebody else tells you they can pay you, and that's all you can pay. And I think if there's one thing to take away from this conversation, is that your income is in your control. I love what you said about sell something, sell your skill, use your phone. I think that so many of us get trapped in this feeling of, oh my gosh, this is all I have, this is all I can get from my job, I can't get a promotion, I don't want to do a side hustle. And I'm like, okay, sis, then what are we doing? Like you do need to take ownership of your income, because without income, you can't do any of the you have to really income and to increase the amount of money you're making. So yeah, winning the game is like step one.
Very good, very good. So your feet, so your body, only time. Let me say it.
Sisi mkia vizuri.
I don't think it's good. I have followers. I don't have any followers. That move has been ready to do. She policy is there.
Kuuliza baby, unafanya nini na sasa life yako?
Mimi ni sura sera sura.
Let's wrap this up. So,
All I dream of is your love. All I long for is your touch. And darling, something tells me.
we should probably come so many times that I think we're going to change the name of this podcast. So now let's go.
I think my number one lesson is I need to say Africa's pocket as much as Sarah has.
Let me tell you, everywhere.
I'm trying to rescue a generation out of poverty.
I have to say it as much. So what's my take on it? So this conversation has been all about how the middle class are doing too much, we're in traps. But I also want to be just a bit of a different perspective. I think the middle class, people who are putting money away every month, every year, and investing, growing it, this is how to take my time. But why do I need to do this for 20 years? What's 10K going to do for me? I hope we can do it. And just put that money away. Stan gave an example of 10,000 per month. There's so many calculators. We also have a calculator on Africa's